Hello students, and welcome to the first screencast of the year, and welcome to World History. I am very excited to meet you in a couple weeks, but until Monday, September 15th, I will be communicating with you virtually and through video and instructional lectures like this. Now, there are 7 main questions that I'll be addressing during this video that you might be wondering about. The first one is, where is Miss Rogers? Well, for the first 4 weeks of school, I'll be serving as a missionary in Montana at Glacier National Park. I've been serving there since June 9th, and I will be returning to school Monday, September 15th, which is the first day of homecoming. Now, the second question you might be wondering is, why is she even there? I'm serving as a missionary in the park, and my team of 3 other Christians and I put on church services for visitors, residents, and workers in Glacier National Park. Along with Sunday services, we minister to the people that we work with and we work alongside. Most of the people who go to the park in the summer oftentimes go there to get away from something in their life, and their hearts are really hardened, and a lot of times a lot of them are not believers, and they don't want anything to do with Christianity. So when they go to the park, they just try and fill that void that they have in their heart for Jesus with just worldly things that really, honestly, just can never really fill you the way that Jesus can. And so I felt really called to minister to those people during the summer. And I know that in the end, He's going to do big things in my life and in my coworkers' lives. And I'm really excited to see what that is. Now, the next question you might be wondering is, what will we be doing while Miss Rogers is away? Well, you will be taught 2 chapters, 2 tests, 1 quiz, 1 project, and an essay. Homework grades will be entered, and Schoology discussions. My substitute will be teaching and facilitating my classes, and all lessons are complete and very organized. And if you ever have a question about what's going on, you can always email me. I will be able to respond to you via email while I am away. The next question that you might be wondering are, what are the rules in this classroom? Well, they're very simple. I have 3 main rules. And if you follow these rules, everything is just going to be peachy. My first rule is, be prepared. And you might be wondering, well, what does that even mean, to be prepared? Well, to be prepared, you come to class with your laptop charged, your homework completed, you've studied for that test or that quiz that you have, and even you come to class prepared by being in your uniform and with a great attitude. The second rule in my class is be respectful. Not only be respectful of the people in this classroom, including myself, but also be respectful of the items in this classroom, such as the desk, your textbooks, etc. Lord. And I hope that you do keep up with those things. All right, and the last rule is follow directions. One of the things that I like to do is I like for everyone to know what's going on, and I like everything to be organized. Well, there's one thing that I will do and my substitute will do when giving instructions. Whenever I'm about to give out a series of instructions, I say the phrase, when I say go. When you hear that phrase, when I say go, that means to stop what you're doing and to listen to the instructions that are about to be given to you. I will give out a series of instructions, and then when you hear the word go, you begin those instructions. But you do not begin the instructions until you hear the word go. I think you'll be great. So be prepared, be respectful, and follow directions. The next question is, well, what are we going to be doing this year? There are a few things that we'll be doing this year. There are some consistent things, and then there are some projects that we'll do. The basics of each chapter will always have vocabulary. We'll always have target sheets, and I'll explain what those are later. We'll always take notes. We'll always read primary sources. We'll always play a review game. and then we'll always have a chapter test. Now, some of the unique things that we'll be doing this year, we'll create speeches, posters, PowerPoints, videos, and my favorite, a castle. And we will also write several papers in this class because I want you to be prepared for in the future. And then maybe some questions that you might have about what are you learning? What will you be learning this year? We're going to learn, why did the great Roman Empire fall? Or why is it that some civilizations have come to conquer other civilizations and it wasn't the other way around? So these are just a couple of questions that we're going to be answering this year. The next question is, how will I be graded this year? Well, homework and quizzes are worth about 25% of your grade. Projects are worth about 20%. Participation is worth 5%, and tests are worth 50%. They're a big chunk of your grade, so you always want to study. Next, your assignments. This might be a little different than middle school, but your assignments are always checked for correction and not completion. I will not put the answers on the board for you to copy down. You must have the correct answers. And you must try hard when completing your homework or your tests or quizzes. And the last question, or two more questions. This question is, who is Miss Rogers as a person? Well, I'm from Bogalusa, Louisiana, and I went to LSU for undergrad. And I majored in history, secondary education, with a minor in political science. These are my parents right here, and this is my brother. Many of you might know him because he works in the middle school after care program. And then my sister Casey, who is soon to be a State Farm agent in Baton Rouge. I love LSU football, and most of the time on Saturdays, that's what I'm doing. I'm watching LSU football. So if you try to email me on a Saturday, I might be slow to reply, especially if the Tigers are playing that day. I love to travel. Anytime there's an opportunity to go, I love to go. I've been to 15 countries in about 34 states, and I'm always willing to go whenever there's time for it. I go to the Ring Community Church. It started off as a church plant, or the college ministry of Parkview, and then about 8 or 9 years ago we became a church with Parkview's blessing. And lastly, I am the cross country and track assistant coach for Parkview High School. And so if you'd like to join, please let me know by emailing me or getting in contact with the Sheltons. Any of those can be of great assistance to you. And the last question that you might have is, how will I be treated in this classroom? Teasing, making fun of, laughing at other students will not be tolerated at all. The moment I see teasing or making fun of, I will correct it, and I will email the parents of the child who is teasing. That is something I don't take lightly, and I know that you might be joking, but it's something I take very seriously. I want all of my students to feel very comfortable and confident in this classroom, to be willing to speak up even if they're not 100% sure their answer is correct. I want this to be a safe and open environment. I will always treat you fairly, and I never want to embarrass you. If you make a mistake, I will call you either outside to talk, or I'll correct you right there in your seat, but I will never intentionally embarrass you. You will be corrected when you do break a rule. I only have 3 rules, and when you do break one of those, I will correct you on it. And I expect you to work. I work really hard to make my classroom successful, and I want you to work really hard to make that A that you really should make in my classroom. And the last thing is, I truly believe that you can make an A. You can be an A student in this classroom. You definitely have the ability. I'm not one of those teachers that says I've only had 1 A the whole time I've been teaching. I've had several. And I honestly believe that every student in my class can make an A if you put forth the effort and you try your hardest. I'm looking forward to seeing you Monday, September 15th, but until then, I'll see you virtually.